All right, thank you everybody for coming. Welcome to the 26th annual Be Your Own Boss Bowl competition. Round of applause for everybody for being here. Thank you, thank you. For those of you that don't know, my name is Neil Johnston. I serve as the Director of Accelerator Programs here at the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Institute. Thank you again for coming. We have a wonderful evening prepared for you, so we're going to kick it off right away and just jump right in. We have two tracks that we are going to be judging tonight. The first of which that we're going to see our presenters for is the undergraduate track. We have 4 amazing finalists that have teams comprised of first-year students all the way through 4th years, which is really wonderful. We also have the upper track, which is comprised of alumni, graduate students, and they really seem to be drawing from all across our university, a bunch of different schools represented, which is really great to see. You all get to have a voice as well. There's the People's Choice Award, which you can vote on once during the evening. The QR code we will put up periodically. Feel free to share it with your friends, family, network. It is also on your tables, so if you don't get a chance to scan it right now, you can do so in a little bit. And then we also have a couple of sponsored awards that we're going to be giving out at the end. So the first of which is the Digital Innovation Award, which is sponsored by the Institute for Business and Information Technology. We have the Global Innovation Award, which is sponsored by us, the IEI. We have the Innovation Nest I-Core Award, sponsored by the Blackstone Launchpad and the Office of the Vice Provost for Research. Please turn my page. And last but certainly not least, we have the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Award, sponsored by the Center for Ethics, Diversity, and Workplace Culture here at the Fox School of Business. So thank you to all those folks who are sponsoring additional awards. This night would not be possible. We would not have gotten to this point without the amazing support of our mentors, our alumni, our wonderful team. So just a huge shout out to those folks that have that served as guest speakers. So prior to the pitches being submitted, we got some really wonderful information, some webinars, some great content that was shared by the folks that you see on the screen. We also had some expert mentors that guided our finalists and our submitters through the process. And then we also had a huge team of reviewers, which you can see on the screen, that combed through a bunch of different submissions, were very gracious with their time, and gave some really wonderful feedback to all of our participants. And then the final group that we want to thank that is not here tonight are our pitch coaches. These are the folks that dedicated their time to our finalists to give them some last-minute feedback on their presentations and just really encourage them to think about how to best present their ideas to you this evening. That takes care of the folks that are not here this evening. Some of them are in the room. If you were represented on one of the slides, can you just raise your hand and can we give them a round of applause? I see some familiar faces. Thank you all very much. Much appreciated. Another group that is here this evening that is up here to my left are our esteemed panel of judges. You are going to get to hear some Q&A from them. You can see their names on the screen. We have Terry Booker, Danae Mobley, Jennifer Reed, and Rich Rogers. So let's give them a big round of applause. So we are just about ready to jump in. So just a quick kind of overview of how tonight is going to work. Again, our undergraduate finalists are going to go first. Each presenter is going to get 7 minutes to make their pitch. They're going to come up on stage and go through their slide deck. And then we're going to have 3 minutes of Q&A that is going to be led by our judges. So you're going to get to hear from them, answer some questions, kind of fill in any gaps that they might have. After that, we will shift to our upper track finalists and do the same thing. We will then ask the judges to go back and do some final deliberations while you get to hear from our recipient of this year's Self-Made and Making Others Award. I will just kind of leave that as a tease there. You'll hear more about that in a little bit. But I think we are ready to kick it off in earnest with our first undergraduate presenter. So first up is Abby Pandy, and he is going to be representing the company of Exemplify. So we are going to bring him out onto stage now. Round of applause, yep.
Hi, everybody. Hi, my name is Abhi, co-founder and co-CEO of Exemplify, where we're empowering creatives in the next digital age. So to start off, meet Luke, a woodworking student on the lookout for an internship to explore his interest in chair design. However, facing a fragmented market that lacks a centralized hub for targeted opportunities, Luke faces a problem. He's unable to find internships that align directly with his interests. And this issue is not unique to him. 44% of arts alumni surveyed by SNAP in 2021 reported that 41% were unable to find internships that were structured and targeted to them. Additionally, 44% found the difficulty in finding internships in the first place. So this problem really exists because of two main reasons. Platforms like LinkedIn and Handshake are unstructured and are mainly tailored towards business and STEM degrees, whereas platforms like Creatively focus more on full-time jobs rather than internships, therefore leaving a gap in the creative arts sector. So this is where we step in. Exemplify is a digital platform that links aspiring creatives with unique and niche interests to local professionals for structured internships. So how do we work? It's very simple. Students and professionals join our platform and create their own unique Exemplify portfolios. Then professionals highlight their skills and then offer and post internships with structured learning goals and milestones that are pre-university approved. Following that, students are able to browse and then search for these internships and apply, showcasing their own portfolio, highlighting key details that they want the professional to see. As the internship occurs, there's structured feedback and evaluation that's shared between these two professionals and the students that leads to all the data going to the university dashboard for the university to oversee. Now, we don't just help students find internships, we also help them form their portfolios in the first place. So with our collaboration space, students can join to meet a collaborative space where there are students from the entire university with all different sorts of majors and minors. So for example, an animation student can join a music major to generate a unique composition for their animation. And as such, after completion, can both put it onto their Exemplify portfolios. So our impact is three-faceted. Students are able to find internships in their niches and also able to collaborate with their peers at their universities. Number two, professionals are able to find and nurture the next generation of talent. And third, institutions are able to find, improve their enrollment statistics, have greater retention in programs as well. So we do it all compared to the rest. Compared to other programs, we have internship guideline tools that support small and medium-sized professionals to host internships. Additionally, we're one of the few platforms that offers portfolio-based interfaces. And finally, unlike any other platform up here, Exemplify offers a student collaboration space for students to work together. So how do we know that this is the right step? Well, our university partners have already indicated that to us. In just under 3 weeks, Exemplify has garnered interest from 13 different universities. And essentially, all of these universities have found that Exemplify is a critical part of their curriculum and would be certainly helpful, as indicated by some of the quotes up here. So, as such, we're moving towards a practical phase where our impact can be measured. And this is through our pilot program launching later this year. We're hoping to integrate 10 of these 13 interested universities with 25 to 50 students each, where we're looking to measure three main things. One is our feedback from these universities and our users, establishing relationships with our users as well, and then showing universities that our platform is something that they need and something that they can't live without. So our market is expansive. There's about 2.7 million creatives in the arts sector. Additionally, every year there's 620,000 new student enrollments in the creative fields. Current university partners are about 22,000 students in the creative fields, which is about 1.03% of the total market, and also indicates that we're ready to expand into the market right now. So what is our pricing model? We're hoping to do an institutional subscription where it's per student per year. And for those professionals and students not associated with the university or a university without a license, there's a freemium model where the basic membership is free and the pro version requires a certain fee. Our go-to-market strategy is also very simple. We're expanding in Philadelphia first, which is known for its rich creative hub, and then into places like New York and Washington. Already some of the universities are in Maryland and in New York as well. So within each of these spaces, our target is threefold. First, reaching out directly to universities and the stakeholders at these universities to showcase the importance of Exemplify and showcase how it works, and then have a product demo, which upon validation can translate into full rollout at these universities. At these universities as well, we're looking to target faculty member who have a lot of industry connections to gather a lot of professionals on our platform. So what does the roadmap look like in the next year? So initially, our goal is to have our MVP rolled out by the end of the year, around September at the start of the next semester, and then also run our pilot program shortly after that. We're hoping to translate the success from this pilot program to actual full rollout at universities next year, hopefully 1 by the start of the year, and then 3 to 5 by the end of the year. Now, our user goal for the next year is about 10,000 students from 3 to 5 universities. Our financials are promising, and here's why we think so. So we see a growth in terms of the number of subscribers over the next 4 years, and we hope to have all 13 universities on board our platform by 2027. We're pricing our platform at $80 per student per year, and we're hoping to invest heavily in the beginning for marketing, product development, and also legal compliance to ensure that we have a solid foundation for our platform. This all sets the stage for our exit strategy within 3 to 5 years to LinkedIn or Handshake, which are large companies in this space. These companies have already bought other ed tech companies in the past. Now, our team is young but growing. I, Abi, am the CEO and do data science here at Temple. Saeed does computer science at Drexel, and at our creative core is Luke. Luke is a creative, and his story was highlighted in the beginning, and therefore his artistic feedback is very relevant as we're hoping to serve universities. Now join us at Exemplify.
Thank you very much. We're going to turn it over to our judges for 3 minutes of Q&A. Any judge that has a question, feel free to pick up the mic and turn it on.
Hi, thank you so much for the presentation. I had a quick question about your user research. When you talked about the student fee at $80 a year, do you have any indication that students would be willing to pay that, or did you get any research on how much they'd be willing to pay for that type of service?
Yes, so all of our university partners within the quotes, we actually talked to them about pricing as well, and they indicated that $80 is a reasonable price for certain large universities, although we are looking for a flexible pricing plan for smaller universities that don't have a large budget.
Other questions?
I have a question. You started with creatives. What's your plan after you hit the creative market? What's next after that?
I'm sorry?
After you said you're going after creative talent first, right?
Yes, getting creatives on our platform. So students, that includes professionals as well in the industry.
And is there a plan to go after, I don't know, life science students or marketing?
Yeah, so with our collaboration space, we do see it growing into other majors like the STEM and business side, because project-based for resumes, projects happen there as well. So we do see them utilizing our collaboration space for finding projects, being able to finish projects, to host them on the resume as well.
It's usually creatives though that have these online visual portfolios. That's why they're our target currently.
Had a question for you. How are you gathering internships to, I guess, fill your platform with opportunities?
So the one way we're doing this is reaching out to universities themselves. So the 13 universities we've already talked to, we're talking to faculty members to utilize their network of professionals, because a lot of them work in the field currently, and a lot of them are willing to offer internships themselves. We also hope with the money we earn to do marketing in a very traditional format to be able to get on professionals.
Okay, a second question. And why would a school or a university pay to belong to this platform?
Well, one thing, it improves metrics for the universities. So they'll enhance their curriculum with internships, boost enrollment statistics as well. And those are all kind of drivers that we've heard from these universities as a reason to join.
Okay, thanks.
Right. I think that's just about our time. Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll give the judges just a minute to jot down their thoughts. while we bring up our next presenter. Our next presenter is Ria Mohite. She is a Fox student, and she is going to be presenting on her pitch, which is Finale.
Hi everyone, I'm Ria Mohit, and like many of you here today, I have been a frustrated fan who was unable to get concert tickets because they were sold out or I had to pay way too much for a single ticket. I completely hated the process. Funnily enough, last summer I had the opportunity to intern with Live Nation, the parent company of Ticketmaster. And during my time there, I specifically wanted to observe the box office operations and ticketing systems because I wanted to find out the root cause behind all these issues. I found out soon enough that the root issue was that the box office and the system couldn't tell the difference between bots and real human fans. This led to only 5% of fans in pre-sale lotteries getting access to tickets, and bots purchased 40% of tickets within minutes of release. And now real fans get stuck on the wait list and wait queues like above. Welcome to Finale, the official platform for superfans who want a seamless ticket buying experience. We authenticate real fans apart from the chaos of bots. We give real fans pre-sale access and form a community of the biggest fans and reward them. Apart from simplifying the ticket buying experience, Finale creates a platform that allows artists to build connections directly to their favorite fan bases and fans. So how does it work? We analyze a user's concert attendance history, your data on Spotify and Apple Music, and your engagement numbers with artists on social media. We use this data to create your Finale score, a unique metric that identifies your dedication as a fan and gives you rewards and points. Our key features are that we give you pre-sale access without bots stealing your seat. We introduce a competitive edge to fan engagement by putting you on a leaderboard to see where you rank among top fans in your favorite fan base. We reward you for your everyday activity, like your Spotify streaming. Finale aims to become the official home for fandoms and fan bases worldwide. We can pinpoint exactly where you stand in comparison to anyone else. We allow you to share your top artists and your Finale score on your profile, and you can search for any other top fans in your city. If you want to know who Beyonce's top fan in North Philadelphia is, you can do that on Finale. Finale is a three-sided platform that benefits the fans, artists, and ticketing companies. For fans, we provide hassle-free ticket buying and a fan community unlike any other. For artists, we skyrocket their engagement, and we provide them dozens of accurate and valuable data into their own fan base. For ticketing companies, we fix their user experience and increase revenue by incentivizing casual fans to start attending earlier shows and local shows to build that loyalty and that history with an artist. We have 4 revenue streams. So transaction fees to ticketing companies, ad sales to artists, and fan data to artists, and as well as merchandise sales to fans. So our direct competitors are Fivo and FanMaker. Both of these are a part of Ticketmaster's partner network and AXS's partner network. Fivo has a cool social checkout where you can buy tickets together as friends, and FanMaker does reward fans for past attendance. However, both of these platforms focus solely on sports events. Ticketmaster and SeatGeek are some indirect competitors because they do have fan verification. However, we know that they fall short every time. This leaves a huge gap for Finale to fill. So to bring Finale to fans, in 2024, our primary focus is to build our MVP out, and we want to start bringing on our early users. We'll do this by targeting fan bases of major artists like Taylor Swift, Harry Styles, Beyonce, fans who live the migraine every single day. We want to build our reach so that we have leverage with artists and ticketing platforms. Going into 2025, we want to continue to adapt and learn based on our feedback and officially launch the app. We'll be scaling up promotion a lot more in 2025, and then going into 2026, we want to build those partnerships and scale to a larger level, looking to partner with venues and festivals, etc. So in 2024, during our MVP batch, we wanted to have around 150 users, and we won't be making any revenue then. Going into 2025, we want to launch in around Q1, and from there on, we want to progressively scale. Our costs do go up, but that's because we'll be increasing our marketing efforts, product development, and going into 2026, our users jump substantially from our efforts in 2025, and we do begin to start making revenue at around 250,000 users. That's when we bring in our transaction fees to ticketing platforms, and we hit around $2.5 million in net profits. Our team, I'm the founder. I have 4 years of experience in the music industry and direct connections with artists. Cole Roberts is our lead UI architect, and he has direct experience with ticketing and software from here at Temple himself. Ayush Gupta is our lead software developer, and he scaled his platform to 100,000 users. Our next steps, with the use of Bureau and Boss Pool funds, we want to continue product development, legal, and marketing. We want to continue to build our MVP, expand our team, launch our MVP, continue adjust, and finally launch within the next year. Finale is where fans take center stage. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll turn it over to our judges for 3 minutes of Q&A.
Hi, good presentation. Had a couple questions. So tell us again who the subscribers will be for your platform?
So we want to sell to ticketing platforms like Ticketmaster, SeatGeek, TickPick, Spice. These are all smaller agencies as well as large ones, as we all know, Ticketmaster. So we'd be selling our verification platform to them. Also, fans can purchase merchandise on our app, but that will come at a much later stage.
And so one follow-on, and what's the value proposition for those platforms to partner with you?
So right now, we all know that there's a big headache with the ticketing industry. Ticketmaster in particular can't differentiate the bots versus fans. Literally 6 days ago, last week, the DOJ brought on a lawsuit to sue Live Nation for all of these malpractices, high resale fees, especially the bots and scalpers. By partnering with us, we would enhance that user experience, reforming the entire verification process, ensuring their limited ticket inventory only goes to real fans. Secondly, we would also increase any partner's revenue by incentivizing casual fans to start going to more local and early concerts so they can build that ticketing rewards and loyalty with an artist.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So do you currently have the app built?
No, we're building the MVP currently.
Okay, and then you want to have it, when's the projected time for it to be built?
I'm sorry, could you?
When's the projected time for it to be finished?
We want to launch our MVP in November and then launch the official app in April.
Okay, great, thanks.
I had a quick question about, you were talking about incentivizing casual users. How do you know that people would be willing to publicize their listening habits? And I just want to make sure I understood this when you were talking about you would be able to see the #1 fan in North Philadelphia for Beyonce, I think it was. How do you know, or how could you make sure that people they felt like there was an incentive to publicize those habits?
I mean, I think we can see through popular programs like Spotify Wrapped. Every year it goes viral in December because people want to prove their loyalty and their music taste. Music taste is like a fingerprint identity to each person. Our music taste is what creates our personality and what separates me and Cole from each other. We love to share that with each other, prove that we're a top fan, and prove our loyalty to someone we look up to, and prove that we are more of a loyal fan than anyone else. With Finale, you can actually prove where you stand.
Good question. Last one.
So I'll make it quick.
Okay.
You mentioned SeatGeek. I know everybody hates Ticketmaster. What prevents SeatGeek from doing this? Why are they not doing it now, in your opinion?
So SeatGeek, they've had many years to try to develop a platform like this, but right now they just don't have a Gen Z consumer base and they don't have the reach. People also hate SeatGeek because that's where they fall victim to thousands of scam tickets. So that's the issue with platforms like SeatGeek and StubHub. They also are not able to gain loyalty and trust from the Gen Z user base because they just don't trust them, simply. Same with Ticketmaster. Finale gives a way for those platforms to gain back their audience's trust and create and retain a Gen Z audience base into the future. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Before we move on to our next presenter, just a couple of housekeeping things. If you need a bio break or need to go grab some more food, please just by the balloon arch that's back there, if you can just walk around just so that we don't have people tripping over cords and all that good stuff, that would be great. I'm trying to stall a little bit to give the judges some time to write down some thoughts before they pass their papers down to Fahad, our wonderful student worker. But while they're doing that, I am going to call up our next presenter. So Yazid Al-Tayeb is an engineering student, and he is here to talk to us about fraction print.
Hi, my name is Yazid. I'm the CEO and founder of Fraction Print, where our goal is to empower makers one print at a time. So 3D printing has become such a headache. For people like me, 3D printer owners, our machines are going unused and untouched for weeks and maybe months on end. For the consumer, if they want to get into 3D printing, they have to deal with very high inflated 3D printing costs from third-party services and long wait times. Now, if you even want to buy your own 3D printer, you have to deal with the time investment of researching the machine, the material, the software, and just in general how to use it. So this is my solution, Fraction Print. Fraction Print is an online 3D printing platform that allows makers to make money with their machine by receiving, fulfilling local 3D print orders and creating a more affordable and accessible 3D printing solution for the consumer. So how does it work? It's pretty simple. So you, the customer, you take the object you want to 3D print. On our website, we have an instant quoting machine where you upload it, you choose the material, you choose the color, and once you order your print, that order will go to one of our vetted printers that is closest to you. They will receive the print, they will print the order, ship it to you, and then they will receive the printout, the payout. So these are where our early adopters are at. We are currently in 21 different cities across the US. Luckily, we pretty much hit every region from the Northwest all the way down to the Southeast. So these are our customer testimonials so far. They highlight Fraction Print's quality, Fraction Print's customer satisfaction, and our competitive pricing. So these are our proven success metrics. We have about 96 printers signed up on the platform. We're in 21 different cities across the US, and we have so far served 30 customers since March 1st, 2024. This is our team. So a little bit about myself. I'm a senior engineering student here at Temple. I have about 3 years of engineering professional experience and about 4 years into 3D printing. The reason I created Fraction Print was because owning a 3D printer, it was just not being used, and taking 18 credits a semester, I don't really have that much time to work a job. So I try to find different ways to make money with my machine, and it required so much time investment that I didn't have. So I was looking for, so one day I was getting ready, I saw my printer, I was like, man, I wish I could just receive an order in the morning, pop it into my machine. When I'm done with classes, it's done. I can ship it out and make like $5 to $10. These are our talented interns. We have Jordan Tran, who's also a student here at Temple. He's our software engineer. And we have one of my best friends, Hamza. He's our lead software engineer intern with 2 years of software engineering experience. So these are our milestones. Some of you might remember me from the idea competition, and I just want to show you how far we've come since. The idea was born in September. The MVP was finished in mid-October. Now we got our first order in March, and now we're like a BYOBB finalist with 96 printers on the platform. So 3D printing, it's such a lucrative market right now. Currently, it's worth about $20 billion. You can only imagine what's going to be worth in the next coming years. So what makes Fraction Print stand out compared to our competitors, Xometry and freelance 3D printers, is that we really prioritize quick turnaround time and affordability. So this is an actual order from our website. This is the same order from one of our customers. We fulfilled it at $4.31, and now you see at Xometry, it's anywhere between $49 to $106. The same material and the same product. We're able to harness local 3D printers and use their already available machines and materials to be able to come in at such a low price. These are our estimated financial projections for the end of years of 2024, 25, and 26. So our market strategies and kind of our goals. We hope to not only increase our printers, but try to be in every state and hopefully break into the international market. One of our goals is to create more targeted ad campaigns to bring in more consumers. Now we have the infrastructure to handle more orders. And we really value user feedback to continuously improve our site from the printer and the consumer side. In our seed round, we're looking to raise $50,000, which will be spread out across hiring more developers, research and development, and marketing. Thank you for hearing my pitch about Fraction Print. Feel free to contact us over here, follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn, and scan that QR code to either sign up as a printer or order your first print from us. Thank you.
Wonderful. Judges?
Couple questions. So are all 3D printers the same?
They pretty much have the same features. So the ones that have signed up on my website are called FDM. So it's the most basic 3D print, most common use of 3D printing.
And what about materials? So do they all use the same materials?
They use the same range of materials. So the same ones that you see at third-party services like Xometry are the same ones you can actually just buy on Amazon or from places like Micro Center.
One last question. And how is the order, once somebody comes into your system, how is the order assigned to a machine?
Thank you for asking that question. So we created this algorithm that will take your zip code and match you to the closest printer, only because so you can have the quickest turnaround time and automatically have the cheapest shipping option. So once they receive it and they ship it out, it's already there.
How do you become a, how do you find printers for your network?
Funny enough, this is such a big problem in the 3D printing community. These people came to me. I advertised on Reddit, I made a LinkedIn post, and pretty much spread through like word of mouth through the 3D printing community.
How do you keep the quality consistent then?
Oh, nice. I created this 10-point system. So when you join our wait list, when we want to onboard you, I email you a file and I send you a package for you to print some test files that I created. And once it gets shipped back to me, I have a 10-point inspection to test the quality, the layer height, the leveling of the bed, other stuff to make sure it's a decent quality. The machine is accurate and the print is good quality.
Why not just buy the printers yourself? Why rely on third parties?
Because of the time investment, you take so long to just research what type of machine you want, what type of material, and by the time you've done all that, for just one 3D print, you've wasted all that money where, we could do it at such a lower price.
Probably got time for one more question.
How are you managing all the printers in all the different cities? How are you managing the quality and the people? And
so we have a wait list right now, and we pretty much onboard our wait list in waves. So I split up my printers in different regions in the US, and I will target maybe 5 printers from each at a time to like fully onboard them.
Great, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, hard to believe that we are already at the end of our undergraduate track. Our last presenter is one of our very own entrepreneurial majors. Tiana Brunson is here to talk about Hair Run. Take it away.
Everyone, you guys hear me? Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tiana Brunson, and I'm the CEO and founder of Hair Run. While working as a full-time traveling cosmetologist and being a full-time student at Temple University, I struggled to find time to pick up specific beauty supply products. I struggled to find time to pick up specific beauty supply products before getting to my clients, which resulted in me either running late or driving out of route to go to certain beauty supply stores for these products. I did some research and I noticed that 4,000 chain beauty supply stores offer the option of same-day delivery, while 79,000 smaller beauty supply stores barely had an online presence, which is creating a lack of DI in the same-day delivery of beauty supply products. We surveyed 100 beauty professionals and customers, and these were our results. 59% wished that they had a personal shopper for products. 37% could not find specific beauty products at bigger chain stores. And 4% had no issue of getting beauty supply products from the stores at all. Our conclusion was that we noticed that small beauty supply stores are facing significant barriers to growth and sustainability. Although they have unique products tailored to the needs of their community, they suffer with competing against larger retailer stores to offer the option of same-day delivery. So our solution, Hair Run, the beauty app that delivers. We're creating an online presence for such beauty supply stores for them to reach a new and larger audience. We're offering same-day delivery and in-store pickup for customers so they can have their own personal shopper. And we're bridging the gap between chain beauty supply stores and smaller businesses by offering a diverse selection of beauty products for same-day delivery. So how does this work? Well, customers shop online or via app at a beauty supply store that's on our app within a 20 to 30 minute radius of their location. Hair runners are then notified and they could choose to either accept or decline the order. But they must go to that specific store to shop for those specific products. And then lastly, is that the order is delivered within 1 to 2 hours, and then funds are released to Hair Run. So our market opportunity, out of a 95% untapped market of beauty supply stores that do not offer same-day delivery of specific products, and with the U.S. beauty supply stores projected to have a revenue of $36.5 billion in 2024, out of 100% of online orders, only 27.2% make up the option of same-day delivery. We're aiming for a total market share of 20% of the industry, which will give us a projected revenue of $1.5 billion, which is only 5.4% of the same-day beauty supplies delivered from the beauty supply stores. So how do we make our money? Well, the average order cost of a beauty supply order is only $79.23. We make our profits from a 15% product price markup of the order, as well as a 5% commission from such beauty supply stores, a $3 service fee per order, and an $8 service fee plus tips per order that goes to our hair runners, bringing a new total cost for our customers to $102 plus tips. Our competitive advantage is that Hair Run will be focusing on small beauty businesses compared to chain stores. We did find one other company by the name of Waistlight, which is located in Miami, Florida, with a similar business model and same target, same focus area. However, they have not been in business since 2022. Our business strategy thus far that has been working for us, we actually have been going into the small beauty stores and making those personal connections. We're offering our first free delivery to customers in exchange for their contact information to add them to our email marketing list. And our hair runners get the option of making additional money outside of maybe their 9-to-5 job at their own leisure. In the past 6 months, this has been our traction. We've gained 1,200 email subscribers, 500 social media followers, and we have 55 pending beauty supply store applications between the state of Texas, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. In 2023, we ran a 6-month beta test of our app and website with one local beauty supply store located in Houston, Texas. We were able to fulfill 332 orders and bring in a revenue of $4,000. Yes, we did take a loss, but with the proper adjustments, we do expect to reach our break-even year in 2025. So meet our team. My name is Tiana Brunson again, and I'm a 10-year cosmetology educator with a 10-year experience in the beauty industry. Andrew is our cultural manager. He is responsible for the lines of communication between us and our beauty suppliers. Michaela is our brand strategist. She is responsible for building, developing, and modifying our marketing plan based on insights and trends within the beauty industry. And Alexis is our compliance manager. She ensures that Hair Run is following the right business laws and policies to make sure that we do not get sued. We're asking for $50,000 so that we can. We're asking for $50,000 to continue the development and the enhancement of our app, and also to execute our marketing plan, as well as increase our daily operations. With possibly an end goal of selling our company to a bigger company.
We're unfortunately going to have to cut it off right there. That's 7 minutes. Thank you very much, Tiana. Do you want to make sure that we have some time for Q&A? So judges, we've still got 3 minutes.
First question is, how do you find your runners? You said you had some in Texas?
Yes.
How do you find them?
So we found our runners actually just being out marketing. Before we even launched our beta app, we attended a lot of beauty events, and we were just asking people if they wanted to make additional money, and also if they had a car.
So they use their own car for it?
Yes.
Okay.
I just would like to add, on the app, there will be a toggle for people who want to sign up and also deliver for Hair Run, and not just utilize.
Okay, great.
Other questions? I have a couple. First of all, how are you getting the inventory of these specialty retailers and suppliers on your site?
So Hair Run actually does not hold any inventory. We're just the middleman, and we just supply the delivery service. So the actual beauty stores actually hold the inventory.
Sure, but how does someone see what you can put your hands on to bring to them? How can they see the products that are in the store that's near them?
Oh, yes. So each beauty supply store has their own, let's call it a landing page. And when you click on it, it'll break down into specific product categories, and then you can see what's available and what may not be available.
Okay. And how are you forging these partnerships with the beauty supply stores?
So far, we've just been going in and making the personal connections, listening to what it is that they need, and a lot of them seem to have the same struggle story.
Last question, and the people that you've used that have executed orders so far, they don't mind the premium that you're charging, or so far?
The one beauty store, they did not mind it.
But your customer, the person who is using your runner?
No.
Okay.
We've actually gained quite an amount of tips, so I think they're okay.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Probably have time for one more quick question.
Okay. I just had one point of clarity on your ideal customer. So thinking about, is it an individual that needs it, or I'm thinking, is it a stylist? Like you said, I can't get out of the salon. I need to go do this. You know, I need to stay here and have this brought to me. Because I'm thinking about with fees, like if there's a larger order or there's repeat customers, have you thought about which one of those is your more ideal customer, or is it just both?
Both our ideal customers. I think in the future, we do plan on giving the hairstylist a professional fee. But as of right now, we haven't said that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Wonderful presentation. Big round of applause for all of our undergraduate track finalists. Those were 4 really great, really different presentations that we got to see, so really happy that you all were here for that. I'm going to pause for just a second and allow our judges to kind of final up their tally for those tracks and pass them over to student worker extraordinaire Fahad. And a friendly reminder that we do have the People's Choice Award, so if there was one that you saw that really stuck out to you, please take a moment to scan and vote for that company. Next up, we are going to kick off our upper track finalists. Again, these are folks that are either alumni or graduate students. If you need that QR code again, the People's Choice Award are on the table. Feel free to just use your phone that way. So anyway, our upper track finalists. A really wonderful group of upper track finalists we have for you this evening. If the undergraduate track was any indication, these are sure to impress as well. So first out of the gate is Fox's own alum, Linda Alunkel, who is going to be telling us about Bite Brave Inc. Take it away, Linda.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm thrilled to be here. My name is Linda Alunkel, founder and CEO of Bite Brave. I'm sure some of us in the room today are either living with food allergies or know what it's like to take care of a child with food allergies. My family is impacted. They're in the back there supporting me. But we really didn't get the chance for Benji's allergies. He was, sorry, let me stop. So for Bite Brave's mission, we are in the mission of being able to prevent food allergies from ever happening in children. Let me introduce you to my Benji. He was born with 10 different food allergies. We've had to epi him 4 times already, and he's only 6. I didn't get the chance to prevent Benji's food allergies, but I did get the chance to help others. Let's talk about the history a little bit. So 3.7 million babies are born each year in the United States, of which 1 in 13 will develop a preventable food allergy. And you ask, how in the world did this happen? What I'm showing here is a timeline of events. Back in 2000, pediatricians were recommending to delay introductions until 1, 2, 3 years of age. In 2015, a clinical trial that was published in the New England Journal of Medicine demonstrated that if you introduce in that 4 to 6 month window, for a period of time, you actually can reduce allergens by 80%, the chances of getting food allergies. Unfortunately, it took 4 more years for the AAP to change that guideline. And by then, the damage was already done. What it does in those almost 20 years, 70 million children were impacted, specifically communities of color, Black, Hispanic, and Asian communities, and also at a cost of $5,000 per family after diagnosis. That's a cost of EpiPens, emergency visits, and allergenic-free foods, which cost almost 100 to 200% more than just a normal bottle of Jif. What it also did is it caused mass confusion in the parent community. 87% of parents do not know how to introduce allergenic foods correctly, and 67% of pediatricians are not following guidelines fully. But for a second, I want to go back to this clinical trial. In order to get that clinical outcome, it took each one of these 3 things listed here. And what it also takes is discipline on the family's part, proactive behavior for parents to really know what to do with the help of coaches. And that's what really got us to this clinical outcome. Bite Brave takes that clinical robustness up a level to a human element. And we're there empowering families, being by their side and coaching them through how to do this correctly. And what you see here is all of the conversations that we've had to date with parents, parental communities, life insurance companies, pediatricians, as well as investors, specifically the USDA. So for those of us that have the privilege of having children, we remember how incredibly difficult that first year of life was. We forget to sleep, we forget to eat, we barely remember to shower, right, because of all of those things. So Bite Brave takes the guesswork out of introducing allergenic foods, which every parent will be doing for their baby at some point in that baby's life. And we do so by shipping products to the door within a system that's curated for that family. And what I mean by that is products that parents love already, but I'm repurposing that for the purposes and teaching them with the help of dietitians on how to do it correctly for prevention of disease. Then lastly, using existing behavioral frameworks, think of Noom for weight loss, we're going to use the same successful behavior frameworks to be able to prevent this disease within a digital health environment. So through our customer discovery, we've done a lot of work in trying to understand how do we best serve our customers. We've learned that the target market, and this is, we're still learning, but we believe that the target market will be new moms. And the reason being, it is incredibly overwhelming during that first year of life where we don't know what to do. We have so many questions, and what that mom needs is a solution that meets her where she is in that chaos during that time, but then also shows her how to do it effectively. From a TAM perspective, 134 million babies are born each year around the globe, 11 in the US, EU, and Canada, targeting developed countries first, and then specifically focusing in the US at 3.7 million, actually more specifically in this region in Philadelphia is our initial target market. From a how are we going to go to market, we are going to learn and go through a subscription model direct to consumer angle because we want to learn and for that matter fail and pivot as quickly as we can. So we really believe that going a direct to consumer in a very short term is important for that. From there, based on, we will be able to get to a viable solution where we will be able to work with employers as well as payers and pediatricians, which as you guys probably know, they require substantial clinical evidence to be able to partner with them. So what does that current landscape look like today? There's all of these solutions over there that really demonstrate single point solutions. They're not tackling this holistic problem holistically. So really Bite Brave is looking to do that and have that holistic approach for these families. From a financial projections perspective, we are going to go direct to consumer for the next year, year and a half, and look to have those B2B partnerships with employers and payers and pediatricians. We are already in two discussions with two very large global multinational companies today, knowing that the sales cycle takes a very long time. This is my team. I am an 8-year food allergy mom, 20 plus years in industry. I'm a chemical engineer by training with my MBA from right across the street. I've also spent the last 10 years at Johnson & Johnson, 4 of which was really learning about this disease, the science, consumer, and healthcare provider behavior. We are guided by a very strong academic, strategic, and medical advising team, most of us having over 20 years in our crafts. We have, to date, demonstrated over 450 insights from a 20-family pilot locally here in Philadelphia. We've also gotten the green light from the USDA to submit a phase 1 SBIR, which is due by September, and we have a provisional patent filed for this system as well, because this system, when we get it right, can be applied to type 1 diabetes, celiac disease, and obesity as well. Our priorities for this year is to be able to design, build, and launch the MVP, and be able to help 100 local Philadelphia families because Philadelphia babies deserve to be healthy. And then from there, using the grants that we are working on, we're currently in partnership with Drexel University, a finalist chosen there to be a part of the Culture Grant, and then the USDA submission in September. So please join me in protecting those moments of joy that these families, that we've been able to help families just like the ones on this page, and be able to prevent this disease from ever happening. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Linda. We will turn it over to our judges.
One comment and then one question. Just a quick comment around your persona. You're saying moms 23 to 30, I think you said. Yes. I would just think, people are starting to have children later in life, so maybe thinking about expanding that age range that might be helpful to think about. Yep. But take it or leave it. Anyway, the other thing I was going to say was that I had a question around the program where you're talking about the education component. It looked like a mobile or kind of digital program like a Noom. how is that time bound? How long would that be? Or is it just a resource that people can go to when they need it?
Sure. Yeah. So the ideal intervention point is that 4 to 6 month window based on that LEAP clinical trial. But we are going to have to be flexible for when we acquire that customer. So if they come in at that 1 month point, we will have content to be able to educate them accordingly. But even if they come in at the 6 month or 9 month point, again, it'll be a resource library that they will be able to pull from.
Okay, sorry, one more thing. Just the level of friction there. Is there education that comes with the actual package that comes to your door so it could be part of the experience? Or is it they would have to always go to the app?
Yeah, so it's a great question. We've worked with pamphlets before, and for parents, especially during that first year, sometimes they are on their phones a lot. But there is also the value of having a paper, item on the table, or a pamphlet, for example. Pediatricians give, a sheet of paper that says do X, Y, and Z in this 4-month well visit. So yes, thank you for that.
So my first question is, how would new moms find you?
Sure, and that is a great question, and that is I am in the thick of figuring all of that out right now. That's why the direct-to-consumer angle is so incredibly important. So right now, my first attempt was through social media. So I tried building an Instagram account and tried customer acquisition that way. What I've learned is it's not authentic. It's not, you don't really understand and have that engagement with the parents. What I'm doing now, I've pivoted to grassroots marketing. So we're holding local events that actually piggyback on what mom cares about, and then being able to then introduce Bite Brave's mission. So we had one a couple weeks ago and another one this Sunday. So starting very small, but targeting areas where moms are to be able to introduce things that she may not know quite yet.
Okay. And then how do you get the food package to their door? How do you source your food?
So it's not going to be food. I'm staying away from food itself because, a bottle of Jif is $2. What I'm introducing is the tools to enable her to be able to measure. Number one, dosing is very important in that clinical trial. And then also how frequent it needs to be done per week. So for example, think of a teether, which a mom gives a baby almost every day, multiple times a day. I'm gonna ask her to reintroduce or to repurpose that item to put allergenic foods in there, diluted peanut butter, milk, yogurt, and then give that to the baby. So it's something that she's already used to doing. It's more just teaching her that it can be used for a different purpose as well.
Full. Thank you all so much. Thanks, Linda. From one Fox alum to another, Stephanie D'Angelo is here to tell us about her club. Stephanie, take it away.
Have you ever heard the saying, deals are made on the golf course? Probably, but have you ever heard a woman saying that or advocating for it? Probably not. And that's why her club was created. We're changing the way women think about golf. Hi, I'm Stephanie D'Angelo, founder and CEO of Her Club. We're on a mission to help women use golf to gain professional leverage in their career. Women are missing out, and it's happening on the golf course. How do I know this? Because I was that person. I worked in public accounting for 10 years. I was at a networking event one evening. The conversation pivoted to golf, and every single person in the room was able to talk about golf, except for myself and one other female minority. That was a pretty pivotal moment for me. Shortly thereafter, I was gifted a golf lesson due to my newfound passion for this topic. And within the span of 2 months, my entire career changed. I was being invited into rooms, partners were respecting me more, my entire career trajectory. And that's when I realized that golf is not just a health and well-being activity. This is a critical professional development skill that women need. So the problem is clear. Golf is a language of business, yet research consistently shows that women are missing out on this opportunity. If we drill down to women for a second, we'll see that women are 51% of the workforce, but only 10% of Fortune 500 CEOs. And there's only 20% of total golfers that are women. So why is golf the answer? Because 90% of Fortune 500 CEOs golf. Golf equals access to decision makers and leaders. Women need that access and face time to ascend the corporate ladder. So how do we get more women to utilize this tool? That's easy. That's where Her Club comes in. We have 2 programs. First, our Accelerate Her program, where we target firms and organizations, specifically their DEI and women's groups. We demystify golf for corporate women, prepare women for the golf course, and really dig into that business and golf connection. And we already have clients from across the country. But we realized that our client acquisition timeline was a little longer than we anticipated, so we also created an individual offering. This is our Her Club Executive Bootcamp. This happens at the golf course. This is our corporate programming coupled with female golf instruction, key, lunch, and networking, and it's a really fun half day of professional development. We actually already have a wait list for our 2024 events. And so what are women saying when they attend our events or after they attend? The most practical workshop I've ever sat through. An ability to talk to decision makers, opened up doors and built trust, and Her Club has made a difference in my professional and personal life. Huge, right? What is also huge is our financial outlook for the next 3 years. We plan to make a significant profit by 2026. At Her Club, we target women in male-dominated industries, ages 28 to 52, mid-level manager to new partner, and female entrepreneurs. And so that totals about 30.7 million women. So how are we going to reach those women? We have a local and national strategy in place. Locally, in-person networking is so key. Utilizing already existing women's professional networks to expand our reach is huge. A goal for 2024 is to work with the Forum of Executive Women and NABO. Also, trade shows are really important. We will be attending the PA Conference for Women this year. And email campaigns and newsletters are critical to communicate with our existing and prospective clients. Nationally, we plan to expand our ambassador program. Women who have already bought in and are passionate about Her Club, we want to utilize them to expand regionally and within their professional industry. As well as social media. LinkedIn is really critical. That's where our professional target spends a lot of their time, and brand partnerships. These are the brands we've already worked with, and we plan to capitalize and expand on them. For example, the PGA Reach, we are in discussions with, we're in discussions to not only use them this year in our Philadelphia location, but to expand to Denver, Colorado, and Chicago. Denver, Colorado, and Boston. So what is the secret sauce for Her Club? It's really that business and golf connection. We are leveling the playing field for corporate women, and no one else has picked up on utilizing golf as a tool, as a networking tool. So in order to see where we're going, I think it's important to acknowledge what we've already achieved. So in our first year and 6 months, we launched a company and launched 2 revenue-generating programs. So for 2025, our outlook is really optimistic, where we plan to expand our executive boot camps to Boston, Denver, and Chicago, and hire a full-time sales professional by 2026. But for 2024, with your help, an investment of $40,000, we can triple our executive boot camps in Greater Philadelphia, invest in our marketing to expand nationally, specifically investing in SEO and Google ads, and a part-time graphic designer and copywriter to make sure our marketing is on point. We are a single-member LLC, but we have a great team behind us. Our leadership council is made up of women who have experiences in sales, fundraising, finance, and accounting, and together we've really made sure we're providing unique and value-add programming to our clients. We also have a board of directors ensuring that we're hitting our quarterly and annual goals. And finally, if golf is known as the international language of business, then we think it's imperative that everyone has an opportunity to speak that language. With your help, we can get more women in the game, in the conversation, ascending the corporate ladder, and combating gender inequity in the workplace. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Turn it over to our judges.
So where is this boot camp located?
So the one that we already did was at Huntington Valley Country Club.
Okay.
And the ones that we're doing this year, we're partnering with the Ron Jaworski, and we're doing it at Blue Pines and Huntington Valley, and we're doubling participation this year.
Okay.
Great idea.
Thank you.
Is this on?
I can hear you.
Great idea. What are you doing? I mean, it's one thing to go out and play golf, you know, from a business perspective, but what are you doing to, you know, kind of foster the passion and longevity in the game? Because a lot of people start golf, men and women, and quit very quickly.
Yeah. That's a great question. So we have a digital community, and it's kind of turned into an in-person community, because in addition to just getting in the game, 50% of women feel that just being able to talk about golf has advanced their career. Now, I know that wasn't your specific question, but because of that, we kind of created a community to foster. So we have a tee sheet where other women can sign up and show, hey, this is your location, this is where we're located, shoot out an email. And so hopefully we also host other clinics ad hoc, but we want to build the community so women can find other women to, again, go out and golf with. So it's not just our events that we're supporting it in all aspects.
Thanks.
One more question. How much does it cost to go to the boot
To the
camp?
boot camp?
Yeah.
Between $350 and $400.
And how long is the boot camp?
It's 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. And typically, companies have invested in their employees to attend as a professional development.
So it's a one-day boot camp?
Yes.
Okay.
We probably have time for one more question if we'd like.
Quick question about go-to-market. You talked about SEO and Google Ads.
Yeah.
What else are you looking at beside that digital SEO in particular? Kind of worries me because I don't know how many people are looking for those particular keywords for what service you provide. What else are you thinking about as far as online marketing?
What else are we thinking about as far as online marketing? Honestly, truly, I mean, LinkedIn has been a huge factor for us, and we've gotten a ton from that. So we're still learning and growing and kind of figuring it out. But I think that instead of going to women in these professional networks, and when I talk to women, they refer me out to other women, and that's great. But I think getting in those search engines when companies are actually looking for, hey, we're looking for DEI programming, as opposed to being in the background, being in that search engine when they actually have the problem that they need to solve, we want to be there to be that answer.
I think account-based marketing is something you should look at.
I just can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Account-based marketing is what you should be looking at.
Account-based marketing.
One thing I think you really need a salesperson to go out to those companies.
Yeah.
Go into the IBMs or the Comcast of the world and say, we've got this package for your future female executive stars. Let's put something together.
Yep.
That's probably going to give you the most traction.
Yeah, we're in talks with Comcast, so hopefully we'll get something together this year.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wonderful job, Stephanie. Judges, if you wouldn't mind passing your sheets down to Fahad, that would be great. Now we turn it over to James. James is a graduate of the School of Engineering here at Temple, and he's a great example of what our program is. This is James's second time presenting at the BYOBB. James, take it away with Prototype Kings.
Thank you, Neil. Most entrepreneurs approach building their business like through trial and error. Most entrepreneurs approach building their businesses through trial and error, and this causes them to get lost along the way. Fear of failure, analysis paralysis, stress, debt, and burnout are all common pain points for entrepreneurs. All because they lack the technical expertise and the knowledge to get to where it is that they're trying to go. Hi everyone, my name is James Calcagni, and I experienced many of these pain points when I was starting my first company, Liquid Limbs, just a few years ago. And it was through this pain that I discovered an opportunity to help these entrepreneurs during the early stages of starting their ventures, and especially to help them with developing a minimum viable product or a prototype, which is what we see as the highest leverage that we can give an early stage entrepreneur. And we approach building prototypes at Prototype Kings like we're in a factory, where our solution using technology and teamwork brings ideas in like an assembly line, and we send them out as a fully functional prototype. We are using our systems built around research, ideation, 3D modeling, and prototyping to empower early stage entrepreneurs to build their dreams. And we have received great validation from our early users as well as from the industry, including large-scale manufacturing firms recognizing our work. and we are wiping the floor with our competition. Many of our competitors offer idea protection or patenting, which is not what we recommend as a first step. And on the other end of the spectrum, their design for manufacturing services, or DFM, are so costly that it's prohibitive for many entrepreneurs just to get started. And they miss the ball on the prototype, which is what we see as the most important part of the process. Going after this niche market segment, we have an unfair advantage of our young team, and we are using the most cutting-edge technology, including 3D printing and AI. Our ideal client is an entrepreneur, someone who is extremely passionate about their idea, and they just lack the technical expertise and the knowledge to actually make it happen. And at a high level, we're empowering entrepreneurs through our engineering efficiency. We launched earlier this year using Google Ads. To date, we've spent about $24,000 on Google Ads, and we are just now starting to go onto other platforms, including a direct marketing approach towards injection molding companies and large-scale manufacturing companies. This is really our secret sauce, is our dynamic team of researchers, designers, engineers, and fabricators. This is what really makes Prototype Kings special, but I will say they do have a pretty amazing boss. My name's James Calcagni. I graduated from Temple's College of Engineering 2 years ago, and this is not my first rodeo. My last company that I entered the Boss Bowl with, Liquid Limbs, was to help people with lower limb amputations stand in the shower. And I've gotten great recognition for my work, including being listed as one of Temple University's 50 great engineers by their College of Engineering, and recognition in all of the articles and magazines that you see here on the screen. I'm extremely proud of all the things that I've accomplished, but I also know that I would not have gotten to where I am if it wasn't for the amazing advising and mentorship that I've had from programs like Temple's IEI, as well as the many advisors that I have listed here on the screen. We're all very passionate about helping entrepreneurs accomplish their dreams and get to where it is they want to go with their prototype. And since our launch, since January, under this leadership, we have had extreme growth month over month. In January, we did $5,000 in sales, February, $16,000, and in March, we did $62,000. I don't have the final numbers from April yet, but I can tell you they're continuing to go up and to the right. And our financial forecasts, we believe with the Be Your Own Boss Bowl, if we're to take home the prize today, it's just gonna accelerate our already rapid growth as we continue to take market share from our competitors. We are planning to use the funds from the Be Your Own Boss Bowl across 3 categories, one of which is to develop a service platform to help our early stage users during the research and ideation phases of their program. We're actually developing an AI program to help them with this. And other areas that we're looking to expand our team and also our marketing efforts. Since starting, we have accomplished every single milestone and goal that we've set out to accomplish, including getting our first sales, hiring our first employees, and we anticipate continuing to reach bigger and bigger milestones as we go forward throughout the year. Right now, we are just 100% focused on building the best, most successful, most profitable prototyping company on the face of the planet. We do know there are always acquisitions happening in this space, including Protolabs recently acquired a company called Hubs for $280 million. Now I see even greater potential opportunities for Prototype Kings. But like I said, we are just focused on building one prototype at a time, helping one entrepreneur at a time, and helping them, giving them the tools that they need to become their own boss. So without further ado, thank you for considering Prototype Kings. I'd love to answer any questions you might have.
Do you have a customer success story you could share?
A customer success story? Absolutely. So Ajay is, we did a we obviously are in the early stages of this company. I'll tell you, I came from Fiverr. Ajay, we developed a weightlifting device, and he's launching his Kickstarter campaign right now. It's been going very well. We go through research, ideation, 3D modeling, and prototyping, and it's been working for every client we've had so far. They're all on track, and we're getting jobs done ahead of schedule. How many clients do you have now? 17.
Can you pull up your market opportunity slide? I don't remember seeing that.
My market opportunity slide, absolutely. Go to market.
How do you determine if you're going to take on a new client? Do you have a process where you
have
say
an evaluation process? So our first step is research. A lot of times people actually are just missing, and we really see that as the foundation of the process. And so we'll take people in. We have a strategy session where either me or one of my team members will speak with them on the phone, and we'll gather a lot of information about their project, and then we will make a determination based on our capabilities and their goals if we're able to help them or not.
Probably have time for one more question.
What's your average cost per order per project?
$10,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a quick one. We can ask one more if you'd like.
Absolutely.
If not, okay. We can move on to our final presenter.
My name is James. It was really a pleasure to be here. Thank you, everybody. I really loved it.
Thanks, James. All right, and that brings us to our final presenter of the evening. I think this one might come with some physical demonstrations, maybe for our judges to see. We have another engineering alum, so we are happy to bring up Ishmael Kamara with the light providers. Take it away, Ishmael.
All right, thank you. Okay. Hello, my name is Ishmael Kamara. I'm a mechanical engineer and the founder of the Light Providers. There are millions of U.S. consumers with family members abroad who live on an unreliable electrical grid. I'm one of them. My family members back in Sierra Leone, along with millions of others across the globe, suffer through constant blackouts. The Light Providers sells anti-theft wireless solar lights online, so anyone with a relative living on an unreliable grid can purchase it and send it to their loved ones. This black slide illustrates a problem that we're trying to solve: power outages or blackouts. I gave my aunt, who lives in Sierra Leone, a wireless outdoor solar light. She didn't use it like I expected. She put the light out during the day to charge and brought it inside at night when she wasn't running her generator. Since it was a motion sensor light, her 3-year-old grandson ran back and forth to the light in order to keep it on. I figured there had to be a better solution on the market, but constantly buying disposable batteries and rechargeable light bulbs that only last 3 to 4 hours didn't make sense for my aunt. We've taken a human-centered design approach. In addition to this work, we've interviewed 10 U.S. consumers with relatives in various countries. We've interviewed 5 NGOs and nonprofits, and we gave a dozen users in Sierra Leone different lights to test. From our research, we made 3 major findings. The first one was education. Students struggle to study at night or do homework because their household with only one flashlight, their parents use that to do household tasks. Number 2 was women's empowerment. Studies show women reinvest 90% of their income back into their communities and families, while men reinvest less than 40%. Number 3 was security. Our research showed through interviews that security was a top concern. It's a fact. When the lights go out, crime rates increase, and people struggle to be able to keep their property safe. Our light is a versatile solution. It charges via USB-C and doubles as a power bank. It's magnetic, so it can attach to different metal surfaces, and it's suitable for outdoor use. And introducing our solar charging case. If you'll take a look at it right there, that's our minimum viable product that we developed from 3D printed parts and commercial lights. It can solar charge the wireless light. It's security, motion sensor, and number 3, it's anti-theft. So our light features a padlock because my aunt's lights were stolen, highlighting the need for theft-resistant lighting solutions. They're not stealing it for fun, they're stealing it because they have a need. Unlike our competitors, the light provider securely charges and secures lights and protects it from theft and allows them to charge it outside through solar. Our target user is someone living on an unreliable electrical grid in sub-Saharan Africa or the Caribbean. Our target customer is their family member living in the US. They can afford our light because on average, 32% send $200 back every month. And they're already experienced at shipping goods back to their loved ones. We believe that we can capture 13.5 million in the next few years. 80% are satisfied or very satisfied with their current means to send goods. When I ship lights back to Sierra Leone, I use Dot Blue, a Maryland-based entrepreneur. When he shipped lights, they got there within 10 days, and within 24 hours, users were able to pick up the light. So our key partners will be local shippers that understand the customs and regulations of the countries that they operate in. We plan to purchase lights for our first customers in bulk, so then we'll brand them with the light provider's logo. This will allow us to get into the market early on while we develop our optimal product. Our go-to-market strategy is we're going to be a vendor at Caribbean and African festivals starting this summer, and we're going to use WhatsApp because that's what our customers use to communicate with their family members back home. And then we'll use targeted ads to be able to grow and scale. Our team, we have a team of education experience, University of Notre Dame, Temple University. We have electrical and mechanical engineering background, as well as we have experience working at Ford Motor Company, Johns Hopkins Chemical Laboratory, and Abu actually lives in Sierra Leone and understands what it's like to live on an unreliable electrical grid every day. And we've also completed Y Combinator's startup school and I-Corp's Mid-Atlantic regional program, along with other affiliations. Our seeking positions is we plan to manufacture in the US, and we're going to find the best manufacturer to make sure that we bring the best product at the right price for our customers. And regarding intellectual property, we've worked with a patent clinic. They were able to complete a patent search, and we're in the process of getting our provisional patent in place. Roadmap and milestones, we did the Changemaker Challenge, idea competition, and we won $1,000 from the Maryland Innovation Center Pitch and Mingle. We completed our MVP located there. We've also formed our LLC. We're planning to start online commercial sales and beta testing in the second half of this year. This is our 3-year financial projections. Underneath drivers is how many units sold. We're a business to C, e-commerce, and we plan to be projected to be profitable in our 3rd year. Our initial ask is for $103,000. That's in order to do product testing, purchase commercial lights, and do our initial engineering. In order to bring our full product to the market, we would need another $194,000. That will cover our purchasing our first 7,500 units, as well as manufacturing and tooling. We plan to compete in pitch competitions, apply to the Maryland Launch Fund, as well as family and friends in order to raise revenue. This is my aunt. There are millions of US consumers with family members abroad who live on an unreliable electrical grid. I'm one of them. So in summary, what do the light providers do? The light provider sells anti-theft wireless solar lights online, so anyone in the US with a relative can purchase it and send it. So who wants to be a light provider? Together, we can end light poverty once and for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ishmael. Judges.
Yeah, great idea. What do you lock it to?
So the lock is actually the front of the light opens up. So it's almost if you have earbuds, for example, with your earbud case, it opens up from the front. If I can get to the slide. So yeah, so right here, the front of it opens up. You can take the wireless light out, and actually on the corner is a lock that you can snap it in there. So the lock is actually, it locks to 2 parts that close together, front and bottom, closes, and then that's how it locks.
I guess, and you lock it to itself, or you lock it to a wall, or
You lock it to itself. So it gets mounted to a wall, and then you lock it to itself.
See, thank you.
How much does it cost to make each one of these?
So right now, the plan to make, cost to make it would be $35.
And then what would you sell it for?
It would retail for $75. Yeah, no problem.
On the previous slide you showed, I think it was a customer journey where they order from you, it goes to someone here. If you can go back, tell me if you can walk me through that. I understand you work with a 3PL, it takes it
Yes.
to the individual here, and then they have to ship it out?
Yeah, so the way it works is that the customer would purchase it here. A 3PL, which would house the product, would ship it to the customer, and then the customer would give it to their family member. So they could use 2 or 3 different methods. From our research, we found 68% usually give it to a family or friend going, or 57% take it back themselves, because usually these people, when we did interviews, they're going back every 1 to 2 years. So in that case, someone even mentioned when we interviewed them, this would be great for me to take back, because when I go back, unless you're going to go purchase for your family member a huge solar panel or run that generator every single day and buy gas for it, they're like, well, I can use this, and then I just leave it for them. So that was the different, and then also they ship goods through blue barrels, which they can fill up with different products and necessities. So those are different ways they can get it.
But you will not ship directly?
No, we will not ship.
Have you looked into that?
So working with .blue, what we've looked into would be, like we said, working with different partners. And then as we build that customer base, then we could build a list of shippers so that we trusted partners that we say, hey, you purchased the light, we recommend if you're shipping in this country, this is a shipper that we used before. They know how much our light weighs, they know the box size, so their pricing is already accurate. So to kind of streamline the prices. And then lastly, the other option we looked at was we pre-ship the light to a location, have somebody on site, and then, for example, you order it, and then your family member just picks up the light there. So we just have like an inventory. But that would be, the only reason why I go in that way, not initially, is because that takes building up a whole infrastructure, where this model allows us to get into the market first and then understand the different challenges. No problem, thank you.
Thank you. One more round of applause for Ishmael. And that brings us to the end of our presentations. How about one more round of applause for all of our upper track finalists? We're making our way through. Hang on, hang on, hang on. There they are. Thank you so much, upper track finalists. This was wonderful. One more plug. You have about 5 minutes left to get your picks in for the People's Choice. We will put that up on the screen just for a little bit longer, so feel free to scan that QR code. Judges are, it looks like they are finishing up. In just a second, I'm going to ask the judges to head back to our conference room for deliberations. But for right now, I'm going to turn it over to Michelle Histan, who's going to introduce our next part of the evening. Give her a round of applause. Come on.
Oh, that's unnecessary. Wholly unnecessary. Thanks, Neil. So, guys, thanks so much for coming and for listening to these amazing presentations. These guys have worked really, really hard. And a really huge shout out to Neil and Emily, who made this whole event happen, because they're amazing, the actual best. So here's what's going to happen next. Our judges are going to go deliberate. So in a minute, you're going to hear who won this thing. So stay tuned for that. But in the interim, as they're deliberating, we have one more exciting thing happening. So in just a minute, I'm going to bring up Justin Rosenberg. Justin is the founder and CEO of Honey Grow, an amazing local restaurant. If you haven't been there, you should go right after this. And Justin is our recipient of the Self-Made and Making Others Award. So every year during the BYOBB, we award someone this award. And it's really about someone who is an amazing entrepreneur, who has been on the journey themselves, who really embodies the entrepreneurial spirit. That's the self-made part. And they're bringing others along with them, which is the making others part. And for Justin, I think what that looks like is Honey Grow isn't just about amazing, local, delicious food. They also really cultivate their people. In fact, he was just in the back talking about this. So they really are doing an amazing job of ensuring people have the opportunity to move up the ladder and create a career at Honey Grow, as well as empowering local suppliers and vendors. So Justin, come on up. Thank you. I'll give you this. I think we're gonna take a photo. I'll take it from you. So guys, we're gonna hear from Justin. He is going to do a quick fireside chat with Jerry Callens. Jerry, come on up. Jerry is one of our entrepreneurship majors here at Temple, which we're really excited about. Jerry is also the student CEO at Saxby's right across the way. So he's kind of running Saxby's. Yeah, he's pretty dope. And he's also starting his own business in Fairmount. He's starting his own coffee shop in Fairmount. So I think he is very well qualified to talk to Justin about what he's doing. So we're going to get you guys set up here, and I'll turn over the mic. Here you go.
Thank you for that introduction. All right. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Okay. So, as Michelle mentioned, Justin is the founder and CEO of Honeygrow, a fast casual restaurant chain founded in Philadelphia in 2012, predominantly serving freshly made stir-fry salads and the signature honey bar in over 40 locations across the northeastern United States. In states of Pennsylvania, Maryland, New Jersey, Virginia, Delaware, and Massachusetts, Honeygrow is committed to enriching the lives of its employees, its customers, and its surrounding communities. Justin graduated from Penn State with a degree in history in 2004, later pursuing his MBA in finance here at Temple, graduating in 2009. Justin, welcome back to Temple University.
Thanks for having me.
So, as Michelle mentioned, I am currently in the process of opening my own business, as you did here at Temple in 2009. Though I'm in classes and I'm doing all my work and I have a full-time job, it's often challenging for me to find time to focus on writing my business plan, on finding investors, and on developing that next step. I have to ask you, how did you commit to that when you were here at Temple, and how have you been balancing your time in college while writing the Honeygrow business plan mentally?
Yeah, for sure. This mic works. Good. Well, thanks. First of all, thank you for even having me win this award. It's very nice. Job of CEO, founder is often a lonely road, so it's nice to get some kudos here and there, and especially from where I went to school. So it's really cool. Thank you, guys. I came up with the idea of Honeygrow really for health reasons. I weighed a very unhealthy 240. I've lost 60 pounds since then. Went to the doctor. I was 26, 27. And my doctor was like, we just had our first daughter. And he's like, if you want to see her walk down the aisle and get married, like literally visually see her, you got to get your life in order. And it scared me. And I wound up literally just making a lot. I went vegan for a while. I was plant-based. I don't know if anyone here is plant-based, but it's fully plant-based for 2 years. I was eating salads for lunch. The stuff I had left over, I'd put into a wok at night with some noodles. I made a stir fry. So really, that was the genesis of it. And I work for a company called PREIT, Pennsylvania Real Estate Investment Trust, doing analyst work. And I would see the sales information for all the tenants in their shopping malls. And I was wondering, why is the Apple Store doing crazy sales? Why is Whole Foods doing this? Why is Starbucks doing this? Why is Chick-fil-A open 6 days a week doing better than anchor tenants? And I thought about really, really great brands that inspire me. Certainly Apple back in the day when it was not just big phone, small phone. It was like, this is an iPhone or an iPod. It's really crazy. Starbucks, the idea of like, why is this an international company like selling coffee? Why do I go to this place versus Dunkin'? And teach their own. Dunkin's great, but what is it about this place that today they're over $100 billion market cap, so on and so forth. And came up with the idea for Honeygrow, which was honest eating, growing local. That's what it stands for. I wanted something that'd be male, female, something I could do around the country, different day parts, urban, suburban, and wrote a business plan, which I actually, shameless plug for Temple, learned how to do it at my capstone class with TL Hill and Dave Nash, 2009. We were doing something else for an Israeli company. I had the template for the business plan, and I made it into the Honeygrow business plan. And to raise capital, to answer your question, because this is rather long-winded, I apologize. I didn't know anyone in Philly. I'm from New York. Anyone else from New York here? Where are you from? Oh, you're like real New York. I'm from like New York City area. Anyone from like Long Island, New York area? Where are you from? Oh yeah, for sure. We used to play lacrosse games against you guys. I really just, at the end of the day, wanted to create my own company. And I realized being in Philly, not knowing anybody, I had to find investors. So I networked like crazy. I came to Temple, asked professors for guidance on my business plan. I'd sneak out of work and go to Alter Hall, which was still under construction, and just work there in a room that was okay. But ultimately, it was just networking like crazy. And it was a lonely road. It sucked. Most people said no. The 94th guy that I pitched, it took 2.5 years when I started, also a Temple guy, David Robkin. David is partners with Steven Starr, venture capitalist by trade. But David really is a co-founder and said, this is great. Like Steven, you guys know of Steven Starr, like Star Restaurants. Steven's a genius. Like he could do 50 different concepts and they all do well. My brain's like Starbucks. Like I want to do one thing and build enterprise value. And David's a VC and he's just like, that's exactly right. That's how we should be thinking. So he brought in another guy and we're off to the races.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, I mean, you were doing it here, but after you left Temple, you got a job in finance, correct?
I was working in finance when I was at Temple.
Yeah. But after this, you got real estate. That's what it was.
So Penn State, I worked at a chocolate factory, which wasn't good for me at all. Frankfurt Chocolate was in South Philly, they're out in the Northeast. Stu Snark, great guy. Then I got into real estate. Then I started at Preet the same day I started Temple.
So why did it take you all that time to launch that business after you developed your business plan? What were you waiting? Were you waiting on investors or?
Yeah, so I came up with the idea in 2009 and I launched the first one in 2012. It was a function of you got to write a business plan. I always advise folks, like, if you have an idea, write it down. I forgot what class it was. What was the professor's name? It'll get to me when I'm in the car. Professor Scott, forgot his first name. But it was a good example. Like, he showed us, it was a VC class, and you looked at a bunch of business plans. You saw how crazy some of the projections were, either too high, too low. So I spent a lot of time trying to figure out, how do I get investors excited about realistic, aggressive financials? And then 2.5 years trying to find capital. And then once I got a lease for the space, it was a year from signing the lease to getting open.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, 94 times you have to pitch your idea.
Yeah.
Failure is a thing that not taken lightly. And here at Temple, we always say perseverance conquers.
For sure.
And you sure have that. So how did you deal with failure? And did you ever change your idea when you got declined?
No.
Always stay the same. Wow.
No. I mean, look, it's a lot of luck and God, and I gave myself also to the end of 2011. By the end of 11, if I didn't get financed, I was going to move back to New York and work at.
And what motivated you through that time?
I really wanted it. I mean, I'm reading a good book right now. Tim Grover, who was Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant's trainer. Book is called Relentless. Really advise folks to read it. But there's something about that level of mentality when you really, really want something. Like, there's a reason why Michael was the best, or Kobe, all these guys. It's just that mentality. And I was like, I'm not going backwards. Like, we're doing this.
I definitely understand that, because whenever I find myself in that groove of writing my business plan or sitting in class listening to Professor Krause or whoever's out there, that really inspires me to be a better version of not only myself, but like the business I want to create.
Shout out to Carl Krause, who helped me, but back in the day. He was one of the people I asked.
Of course, but I always get faced by decline when people say 80%, I'm sure you got this too, 80% of restaurants fail within 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
What moment did you realize that you succeeded, and what made you take on that risk?
I mean, this is going to sound contrived. I still don't feel like I really succeeded. We're not, if you look at the original business plan, we should have been way ahead at this point. And we almost went out of business. And I was saying before, 2018, we ran out of cash and we had to stop growing, and it was really scary. We almost went bankrupt. We raised a lot of money from private equity, had the pressure to grow. And we opened 7 markets in 1 year, plus a new concept. And all the restaurants that we had for the first few years were amazing and doing great. All the new ones were total failures and duds. And there was this weird bifurcation of successful restaurants and bloody restaurants. And cash was just flying. So we stopped growth in 2018, did what we had to do, did some surgery on the business, didn't really change the model, closed Chicago, which was hard, kept Boston, Pittsburgh, DC Metro, cut G&A, was hard, but then COVID happened. So by the time COVID happened, we just made it through all the craziness. By July, August, we were okay, thank God, in 2020, because we have delivery in our app. But we've opened 18 restaurants since 2020, and the business is doing great today. And largely, great team, great culture. But it's that grit, perseverance attitude that we all have. Like, we're not failing. But at the same time, I'm like, shit, we could have been at 100 units by now. We're only at 41, so we got a long way to go.
And why are you not satisfied with 41? What makes you want to keep going?
I don't know. I just want to keep going.
Okay.
We're not there yet. Yeah.
And so you said in 2019 you had a little struggle. It seemed that the brand expanded too fast. You opened too many restaurants. It was hard to maintain that consistency across all platforms. What made you realize that you need to take a step back? What was there a turning point? Was there?
Yeah, the original first 3 years, it was just awesome. It worked. It was great. Had our ups and downs. You could feel it. I mean, the numbers were not there. The culture was not there. We made a lot of hires on the corporate side that, fit is so important when you build a team. And I knew that when I was running the restaurants, but did not apply that at the corporate level. I was hiring on resume. And wow, you worked at this company or you worked at that company, and their skill sets weren't what we needed at that time. And so there's a whole bunch of things that led to that failure, and a lot of politics started forming. I'm a firm believer, like Warren Buffett style, which is, you know, how many employees work at Berkshire Hathaway? Like, I don't know, not a lot, right? Relative to their size. I'm a firm believer if you find really quality folks and take care of them, but don't hire too many, and magic actually happens. So we didn't have that back then.
Absolutely, absolutely. So when I was a student CEO at Saxby's, one of the main focuses was consistency across all locations. Especially, I was at Fox. There's one right up the street on the Aquarius Walk. But how did you maintain, or how do you maintain consistency across all locations? How important is it to have your head of area ops or whoever leads that, your GM, to talk to other owners?
It's absolutely critical. I mean, we're definitely not perfect at it. I walked into one of our restaurants a couple months ago, not in Philly, and I ordered a stir fry and I gave it back. And I'm like, this is not done the right way. I ordered another stir fry, I gave it back. I'm like, you got to be dropping noodles. It should be a minute, 12 seconds, shock it in ice water, put it in the wok. It's a medium-low flame for about 15, 20 seconds, and then put it in the box. You're done. I was watching a team member, that 15-second period that I just mentioned, cook it for about 90 seconds. And man, did I really want to jump in there and you know, with a superhero cape and fix it, but you can't do that. You just can't. Like, sure you can, but that's not going to fix, that's a Band-Aid. So it was a bigger issue. And it's like, well, how do you fix it? So that's training people. Are the right people in the right spots? What gaps are being missed? Is the GM the right person? So consistency is key. And I think Nick does a fantastic job at that with Saxby's. I mean, I've known Nick for a long time. He's a great guy. And it's hard. It's very hard, but that's key. If you go to Honeygrow in Pittsburgh, it's got to be the same as Honeygrow in, you know, Boston.
Absolutely. Minute 12 seconds. We'll keep that in mind when we visit Honeygrow next.
Dropping noodles.
So how did the idea of Honeygrow come across? Was it just a spark? Was it a dream like I have about my cafe every night? What was it?
No, like I said, it was a health thing, and always wanting to build a business. My dad, my grandfather, entrepreneurs. When I worked at Preet, I didn't really want to sit in a cubicle for the rest of my life. Just wasn't who I am. I like being out there. I like talking to people. I like food. I mean, I always advise folks, do what you love and what you're good at. I mean, there are two separate things, but like, if you could find that intersection of both of those, magic's going to happen because you'll spend the time and the mastery on it. I love what we do. I love leading and learning. You know, I'm not perfect at all, but I don't know. Scaling businesses for me feels like the right thing, especially on food.
Absolutely. So walk us through the importance of your GMs and the ladder that you take.
Yeah. The general manager is the person that runs the restaurant. The GM is by far the most important person in our company, period. I was the GM for the first two restaurants, 16th Street and our Ballast Spot. If you don't have a good GM, you will not have a good experience. The GM builds a team, removes low performers, works with the top performers, makes people into top performers, empowers the team. If you have we call it an elite general manager, if someone can go from GM to EGM, honestly, the food tastes better, the profits are better, the sales are better, the reviews are better. And I was just talking about this, like, it takes time to get that culture. Well, once you get it with the right leader, magic happens. It's pretty cool.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what determines the specials when it comes to Honeygrow? Like the Chesapeake crab, is that coming back? The Philadelphia cheesesteak? How are we feeling with that?
Did you like the Philly cheesesteak?
I like the Chesapeake crab better, if I'm being honest.
Well, Philly cheesesteak didn't do well, so that's fine.
I don't like when, okay, first, I'm born and raised in Philadelphia. I don't like when I go to other places that do not make cheesesteaks and say Philly cheesesteak. Jersey, no. So Philly cheesesteak and a stir fry was a little weird concept. I did enjoy it though. I did enjoy it.
Do you like the buffalo chicken stir fry?
I do.
I find it revolting.
Really?
Yeah. I don't like it.
Bite to it. It's like
I hate
chili
it.
Flakes.
So the Chesapeake crab is awesome. I'm with you on that. The O. Adrian was also really good, which not coming back. Though the buffalo chicken does really well. There's a lot of people like you who love it. I hate it. So the process really is we worked. So the original recipe is pretty much mine, and then worked with, we had a culinary director for a while, David Katz, who was great. He created the Chesapeake crab. Created some really cool specials. Today, I mean, we meet really, a few times a month talking about it. We have some seasonal hits. The garlic butter chicken was a seasonal. We put it on the menu full time. We're testing a sriracha tahini right now, which is really good. And the seasonal right now is the Serrano chili. So
I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting hungry.
So, yeah.
So what kind of made you take a step back from being a GM in your own role and handing it off to someone else?
I had to open our second location, but then I was the GM of that location. Look, as a founder, it's really hard to let go. And any other entrepreneurs in the room or aspiring entrepreneurs? Yeah, like, you know what it's like. It's just like, it's your baby. You don't want to let go. And then one day someone else is running the ship, and are they going to do as good as you? Maybe, maybe not. I will say the GMs that we have today are exponentially better than me as a GM, for sure. So I knew I had to develop into a CEO and not be a GM, so I had to say goodbye.
But you started it, so don't forget that.
No, I don't forget that.
So my final question before I open up on the floor for some open questions is, what's next for Honeygrow?
Yeah, so we're opening up our first new market in Ohio this year, first market in 7 years. So really psyched and nervous about that. Just continued growth. We just opened Plymouth Meeting a few weeks ago, a couple months ago. We're opening up 14 more this year. We're opening Doylestown. Any Doylestown people? There you go. We're opening up in Barn Plaza on Friday. So that'll be exciting. And just made some 2 key hires on the executive team. So excited about that. And just growing, just doing our thing.
Absolutely. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you. And we're going to open up some questions if anyone has any.
Thank you, Justin. So I'm intrigued by what you said when you had like explosive success on the front end, and then something like you had 7 restaurants and the old ones were all doing really well, and then everything new was failing.
Right.
And I'm curious because you went past it quite quickly, but looking back, knowing what you know now, 5-6 years later, what was the reason why the original ones were doing so well, and what was the difference between all the new ones? Why were they so bad?
Yeah, a few things, right? So the original ones, the first one 16th Street in Center City, took some time to get there. Bala, I don't know if anyone's been to the Bala spot. It's like Main and Main on the main line. It's literally like Belmont and City Ave. And when I opened that one, I was running it. I knew what I was doing at that point. So when we expanded here in Philly, we had a lot of brand awareness. So people knew who we were. It's like, oh, what's the Honeygrow place? I like it. It's really good. Like we opened Radnor, then we opened Cherry Hill. When you plant flags in markets where people don't know you, it's like starting from day 0. Like you got to just run it and make believe this is the first time. So I'm old. I could say this now, which is weird, but any Biggie fans out there? There you go. So I am from New York, but Biggie said it, I'm paraphrasing. It's like every time you create a new record or an album, you got to make believe it's your first one. And that's really the mentality we no longer had when we were expanding. We became arrogant. We thought like, oh, all we do is open, they all work. And then they didn't. And that, 7 years ago, and it was really scary. It took some time. Today, Boston's our best market in sales. Real estate wasn't the best in these markets. We had to learn from that. We were doing way more urban stores, and today we're doing way more suburban, where we can go next to a Wegmans or a Target. We know that's more of our model and build it for the right cost. But yeah, it just takes time to learn these things. And today, those other restaurants, thank God, are all doing great. Just needed some time. And I closed Chicago. That was hard. We had 3 restaurants in Chicago, and I was like, it's a bridge too far. We're not ready for this. Real estate's not great. We overpaid. Cut it. That was in 2019. And, it probably would have been fine today, like Boston, but it is what it is. We'll get back there. Pleasure.
Hi, congratulations. You're very young and
thank you.
Very accomplished. I'm always on a health quest. I've never been to a Honeygrow, and I usually associate stir fries with oil. What kind of oil do you use? Do you use a lot in your product? Do you worry about that? Is that because
Yeah, I do. We use a canola oil. It's about a half an ounce. We were actually at one point testing it with just cooking water. So we were steaming the stir fries at one point. It just didn't taste good in that wok. So the heat is like 100,000 BTUs. We have folks that can come in and say, do you mind just using water for the stir fry? And we'll do it. But the food, I'll just be honest, just doesn't It's not good. Well, you might like it, but like the oil taste makes it taste better.
I wanted to ask you, you talked about the importance of the GM, and then you were talking about EGMs, your elite GMs. How do you move somebody, or how do you find somebody? It could be either, right? How do you find those GMs? How do you find the elite GMs?
Yeah.
How do you get someone? How do you train? What do you do internally?
Yeah, so if we can internally promote somebody, that's what much better, and what the purpose of the EGM program is. Part of becoming an EGM is you have your successor ready to go into a new restaurant. It's one of the reasons why we do this program. It's a lot like the Chipotle Restaurateur program, but we look for what makes an EGM. There's a lot. We have direct one-on-ones with the team members. We sit down with the general manager, the assistant managers. Really, it's the regional director does it. District manager does it first. District manager will say, my team is ready. Regional will validate, yes or no. Most likely it's not. And we push that a little bit, like, no, like, get it right. And maybe 5 months later, and then the COO, VP of Ops, and myself will come in. Actually, I'm sorry, VP of Ops, then myself and our COO and VP of Ops come in. We sit with the team members, we sit with the GM, and we'll ask questions like, talk to me about the night team. Are they good? Like, yeah, they're good. Like, you could tell when they're not BSing you and it's real. The food is great. Like, food safety is amazing. We don't have any, thank God, real food safety issues, but you just know things are tight on the prep schedules, on monitoring everything. Like, everything is just so perfect. And the team just wants it. It's pretty cool. We have, I think today, 4. So around 10% of our stores. We should have about 20 by the end of this year. And we're not rushing it. Just don't want to falsely validate that.
Could you talk about a specific time that you helped to give back to the community?
Yeah, I think a lot of those. There's so much. Just today, our really corporate, like, social partner is a group called Team Impact. And what Team Impact does is, if there's a kid in a hospital from a serious illness, whatever it could be, terminal, not terminal, when they leave hospital care, a lot of times the care kind of stops. So when you're in a hospital, there'll be nurses, there'll be people cheering you up. And then when you go home, it's kind of like, so Team Impact partners with, actually Temple's involved with it, colleges around the country where student athletes sponsor a kid. And it could be like the volleyball team, it could be the Temple basketball team, it could be, University of Maryland volleyball team. And they literally sponsor a kid and bring the kid to games and literally, like, uplift this human being and the family, because the family, being a parent, you deal with that. It's horrible. So it's something that we do. So every dollar from a kids meal goes back to Team Impact. And that's a lot of kids meals that we sell. And we would make a lot of money if we didn't give the dollar. It adds up over 41 restaurants. And I don't care. I'm happy to give that at least for them. We partnered with Musicopia in the past, which is helping folks in charter schools get access to musical instruments. And we partnered with Fender to make a Honeygrow guitar, which I don't have, which annoys me. But we gave it out to the kids and helped provide instruments, really help them fund the instruments. We do so much stuff with sponsorships. So you can go into this thing called Group Raise, where we're on there. And if you want to do like a 5K for raise awareness for something, like, you go on Group Raise and you'll get 25% off, or you figure out how to do it. There's just, through the years, there's been some, we partnered with different food shelters. It's a huge thing of what we do. Yeah. And honestly, we probably don't talk about it enough, but I also don't want it to be seen as disingenuous. We just do it. And then I think folks appreciate it, and they're like, Honeygrow's legit. Thank you.
One more round of applause. Thank you so much, Justin. You can jump if you want. You can leave that there. All right, so quick housekeeping piece. I neglected to thank a very important group of folks, and that is some of our sponsors. I think we have some in the room here today. Did I see someone from Troutman Pepper? Maybe they took off already, but anyway, our sponsors were able to give some in-kind services and opportunities for all of our finalists that are going to total over $150,000. So things like web hosting services, marketing opportunities, legal fees, all that kind of stuff. So we really do try and reach out to some sponsors that make it really helpful and easy for our companies to get off the ground. So big round of applause to our sponsors. Thank you. And let's go through one more time and thank our two tracks, our undergraduate track as well as our upper track finalists. Big round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. There they are. And our evening would not be possible again without the support of our sponsored awards. And so we have a few that we wanted to give out before we get into our other awards. So the first of which is the Digital Innovation Award. Manoj from the IBIT is here. Manoj, give us a wave. Thank you very much. Manoj and his team were the ones that selected this and had this to say. The Digital Innovation Award is awarded to a project that has a unique digital solution that is technically feasible to implement and that solves a real world problem. Our Digital Innovation Award actually came from somebody that was not a finalist today, and that company was UFarmX. So let's give them a round of applause. Do we have somebody from UFarmX here? Yeah, come on up. As you're coming up, I'll say what the Digital Innovation Award team said about this. So UFarmX highlighted a limitation faced by farmers, specifically in regions like Africa. It provides smallholder farmers in Africa a tech-driven agricultural platform that uses AI and blockchain solutions to improve crop and supply chain management, as well as initiate smart farming practices and economic empowerment. One more time for UFarmX. Next up in our sponsored award is the Global Innovation Award, and we are proud to give that to Finale. Next up in our sponsored award is the Innovation Nest I-Core Award, and I'm going to invite Jennifer from the Blackstone Launchpad to come on up and present that award.
Thank you. I'm just filling in for Julie Stapleton Carroll. She is actually the director of Launchpad, which is where we take all the ideas from students, alumni, faculty, even staff, and help you make them real. So we do pitching, coaching, we have workshops, networking, all kinds of things. And the best part about all of this is it is free. Yes. So we are located over in the Student Center right behind Starbucks. So come and see us when you have an idea. And in this room, I know everybody has an idea. So I hope to see all of you. So what we're really excited about tonight is to present the I-Core Award. This is sponsored by the National Science Foundation. I-Core is sort of like boot camp for business, and it's really something to go through. I know some people have experienced it, and it will really heighten your level of business acumen and take you to the next level. So I'm very proud to present this award tonight to Linda Alkinol and Bite Brave.
No, we'll take it afterwards. One more round of applause. Thank you, Jennifer. Our next sponsored award, oops, sorry, if I can find my paper, here we go, is the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Award. Again, that is sponsored by the Center for Ethics, Diversity, and Workplace Culture. So many acronyms at Temple. So what the DEI Award team had to say is that many people might not consider gender disparities when they think about who has access to light. we recommend the light providers for intentionally working to address the disparities that disproportionately impact women living in areas prone to blackouts. Congratulations from the Sedgwick team to the light providers. And then, oh yes, of course, the People's Choice. This is the one that you all had a hand in. Drum roll, please, since you all had a hand in it. Our People's Choice Award winner is Fraction Print. All right, so now we are getting into our awards for placing. So fourth place, we'll go back and forth. We'll do undergraduate track and then upper track, fourth place, third place, etc. So undergraduate track, in the fourth place, we have Finale. Congratulations. Fourth place in the upper track, we have Her Club. Now we move on to third place. Third place in the undergraduate track is Hair Run. Third place in the upper track is the Prototype Kings. Second prize in the undergraduate track is Fraction Print. Second prize in the upper track is Bite Brave Inc. Which means we're down to our first place prize in the undergraduate track, and that is Exemplify. We've got first place in the upper track is the Light Providers. And Ishmael, stay up here because the grand prize winner was the Light Providers. Congratulations. It's awesome. Congrats. One more round of applause for all of our participants. Thank you so much for some great presentations. I know they probably can't hear me, but please stick around so we can grab some pictures by the step and repeat in the back. I believe that takes us to the end of our program. Thank you all so much for being here. Please engage with the IEI. We would love to network with you. Come find us. Alan, Michelle, Emily, myself, and get home safe, everybody. Thank you.